Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. The Vienna opening starts with knight c3, which defends the e4 pawn and controls the d5 square. By delaying knight f3, white keeps the option of playing f2, f4. Knight f6 develops the knight, attacks the pawn on e4, and controls the d5 square. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center and attacks the pawn on e5. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, defends the e5 pawn, and controls the d4 square. d4 takes space in the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. He takes d4, captures the d4 pawn, and opens up the center. Knight takes d4, captures the d4 pawn, and places the knight in the center. Bishop b4 develops the bishop and pins the knight on c3 to the king. Knight takes c6, captures a knight, and forces black to double their c-pawns. B takes c6, captures the knight, controls the d5 square, and opens up the b file. Bishop d3 develops the bishop toward the center, defends the e4 pawn, and prepares castling. d5 takes space in the center, attacks the e4 pawn, and controls the c4 square. You've broken a pin, and now your knight can provide defense. This misses an opportunity to castle kingside. Castling kingside helps to complete your development. It is best to avoid doubled isolated pawns. That was a brilliant sacrifice. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You are threatening to tactically win a pawn. This threatens to capture a knight and win material after the follow-up trades. You stopped your opponent from being able to tactically win a knight. White was better off, but now their position is winning. The only move, and you found it. Black develops further. You are threatening to tactically win a queen. A very strong play. You captured back. This blocks the attack on a queen that could have been captured. You found a safer square for your pawn. This wins time by threatening a queen and forcing it to move away. You found a safer square for your queen. Black's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. Doubled rooks can be powerful. This creates space for the king to move in case it is attacked. Yes, this is the way. The piece finds a new active square. Very good choice. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. You gain time because your opponent must deal with your threat. This is an equal trade. Recapturing. This defends the attacked pawn. You attack a rook, winning a tempo when it moves away. This threatens to tactically win a bishop. You prevented your opponent from being able to tactically win a bishop. This doubles the rooks on a file, which allows them to team up to create threats. Good job, that's what I would have played too. One of the best moves. You captured that free pawn. A solid choice. This move cuts off the check from the rook, keeping your king safe. A very strong play. Great use of your piece to blockade the pawn. One of the best moves. Nice job creating that passed pawn. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Your passed pawn can soon become dangerous for black. A solid choice. The closer your passed pawn to promotion, the stronger it is. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You take back. This offers an equal trade of pieces. Nice, you found a way to win a pawn. Recaptures. You want a pawn for free. This is the strongest option. You step your king away from the checking rook. A very strong play. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. That was a free pawn. Nice, definitely the right move. Right on target. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can inhibit the pawn's ability to promote. By using the pin against the king, you will win material. This move puts the rook on a safer square. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. You trade off equal material. Takes back. You found a safer square for your rook. One of the best moves. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. A solid choice. Passed pawns must be pushed. A very strong play. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. One of the best moves. Yes, this is the way. A solid choice. Good job stepping in to defend your rook. This leads to losing a rook. This is the way to win a rook. This move puts the rook on a safer square. You continue the checkmate attack. This steps away from the checking rook. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. This steps away from the checking rook, getting closer to the forced checkmate. This steps away from the checking queen. Always feels nice to win.